I'm Tiny Joy Now, and today I am building the apartment, I'm putting quotes around this, for my up-and-coming series, The Love Witch, which is based off of my all-time favorite movie, The Love Witch. I highly recommend watching it. I cannot refer you to it enough. It actually came out, I think, in the beginning of this year or the end of last year. It is really retro, idealized. It almost looks like it's from the 60s and 70s, but the director has made it very clear that it is in current modern day, but it is supposed to look really idealized. If you're an artist or you just like pretty things, I cannot recommend this movie enough. It is the bomb! I just love it so much. Now, my series is going to be highly influenced by what happens in the movie. However, I am going to have fun and maybe do some side plot lines, and if I'm enjoying it enough and I finish it, because there is an end I have very acutely in mind, I think I might do a season 2. I'm thinking I might wait to do a season 2 though, if Witches comes out soon. And I don't know if you saw my video on my channel like 2 days ago, but I think I found proof that Witches are coming to The Sims 4 and possibly this year, like possibly soon. My guess is going to be like a really cool like Halloween pack or something. So fingers crossed, I think it is coming. So if that is the case, that's when I'll do season 2, and I'm just so excited for that. Anyways, so just to kind of like paint a picture of what the movie is like as well as what the series is going to be like, the main character is Elaine Parks, and I'm pretty sure that's her last name. I'll have to look it up and obviously name her that. And Elaine Parks was kind of in a crappy relationship before. She ended up getting into magic, witch magic, whatever, except she particularly specializes in sex magic, or in this case, we're going to call it woohoo magic. Now, when she believes that if you give a man everything she wants, she's very sexist. You have to keep this in mind. She's very sexist as a character. She believes if you give a man everything they could ever want, it will work out really well for you, basically. And how do I put this? She's wrong. And a lot of things go bad. Some on purpose deaths, some accidental, and it's going to be nuts, and I can't wait for you to watch it and check it out. You're going to love it. Now, for this build in particular, when you download it from the gallery, my EA origin name is down below in the description. I also am putting in the description 2 things you need to download. One is a Witch Deco set mod. It's just some CC. It's not a lot, but I did use a chunk of it for her kind of like witchy potion room, and I think it really makes it feel more like a witchy potion room. So just go download that, put it in your game, and then upload the house, and it will automatically be in the places I furnished the home. The second thing I put in, now apparently the girl who did this said it took her like a year to create this mod or whatever, but it's like a cauldron that actually works, and it can brew the herbs from the herbal remedies from Outdoor Retreat. So I was just like, hell yeah, I'm going to put that in my game. So that's going to be really fun to watch her kind of create potions and stuff like that off of there. Now, I said apartment, even though it's like an old Victorian house, because again, in this very idealized movie, she moves into, it's an apartment on the 2nd floor of this crazy looking Victorian house. Now, I don't dislike how my house came out. I think it turned out okay. I think it turned out good. But if you get the opportunity to, you have to check out the house that's in this movie, because it is nuts. The sides of the wall bend, and the archway when you walk into the door is this circular arch with like webbing and stuff around the side. It is the coolest looking house, and sadly, I can't make round domed like towers the way I'm trying to mimic it there. And last but not least, the house's main colors were this like dark purple, green, brown, and gold. and they just didn't have the colors in the kind of arch sidings right there in the Victorian house. So, you know, I did the best I could with what I had. They also, the side of the wall, yes, it was deep purple, but the markings on it were this like really cool like shingle, the way the top of the roof looks. And again, that's just not available in The Sims 4, nor could I even find it in CC. So, you know, you work with what you got, and I decide, at first I was like really beating myself up on this, but advice to anyone who's trying to recreate something and that they don't feel exactly happy with, just after you kind of get the gist of what it looks like from there, make it your own, give it, you know, have a little fun with it. Like at the very end, I forget to record this part, but at the very end, I added a bit of, you know, like vines and ivy and such around the house, and I added like one or two things to kind of bring out this build's unique look that wasn't in the movie's house. So, you know, you gotta play with it what you may. But she lives on the second floor, so what I did in this house is it looks like this big house she lives in, right? But what I end up doing is on the first floor, I cut off most of the first floor, and I kind of let it feel a little bit like a lobby, almost, like in those old kind of boarding houses. And then on the second floor is where I do all the furnishing and stuff like that. The reason why I did that is back in the day before we had apartments, and just in general, if you kind of wanted someone to live on a certain area of the house, it's fun to furnish it, but what ends up happening is your Sims are dumb and don't want to listen to you, and they'll sit and, you know, go into different areas of the house, which is really annoying because you're like, please come upstairs. Upstairs is where it's at. So what I did was make it so that they have no choice but to go upstairs. I might even delete in the bottom story that you'll see at the very end of this video, I have put a few, like one or two couches or something. I might delete that because I just don't want there to be any, you know, I don't want any Sims not playing where I want them to play, basically. Anyways, so then we come to the layout. So the outside is a bit odd, you know, in shape for sure, it's meant to be. So the inside was really difficult to get a layout on, especially when I had to, and this is where I'm really fighting with this, but I was so determined to have it look like the movie, where when she comes up the stairs, she goes up the archway and she enters that way. But eventually I had to kind of be like, listen, girl, you're going to have no room for your bedroom, no room for your witch room. As you can see, I'm putting the archway in for there. So I eventually was like, okay, let it go. Move it on the opposite side. Don't worry. It will turn out okay. And after I figure that out, I'm pretty happy with the layout. It's not that different from the movie, which I'm happy about. And that's really important because certain scenes from the movie, that's something that's really important to me in all of my builds when I do anything like movie or TV related. Like when I did my Big Lebowski LP, that one, I was so particular about, like, okay, so when he gets beat up in the bathroom, he can see down a dark hallway. And so I made sure that bathroom was visible from the hallway. You know, that kind of minor thing. That's really important to me. And in The Love Witch, there's a lot of scenes where she's in the dining room and she looks into the, you know, living room and so on and so forth. So I give it a really, really tiny hallway. As you can see, I'm trying to decide how thick I want to make the stairs, but I don't know about you. I just cannot do it. I cannot let my Sims not have big stairways. Otherwise, it's so difficult to get up and down stairs, especially with two people. And it looks ugly. Once you go double thickness in stairs, you can never go back. And thank gosh for the Vampire Stuff Pack. I used a ton of its wallpapers, archways, doors. It really helped add to the vibe of this place. Now, again, you might originally be like, what is she doing? This looks a little teeny bit tacky. Don't worry, it all comes together, I promise you. I'm actually so pumped how this came out, because not only if I hadn't seen the movie would I just be happy with the way this like is furnished and look, but I actually think I mimicked the movie pretty decently. Now, remember I said it had a really idealized look? The movie is insane because it's got this mix of, remember, she's like in an old Victorian like house up in Eureka, California. So it's this old Victorian house, right? But then it's mixed with 70s stuff, kind of modernish, stuff. And then on top of everything, she's got her own flair of like pungent reds and stuff like that. So it's a lot of like pattern on pattern on pattern with that crazy mix of like how the windows look a little bit more modern, and then the walls are a little bit, the other windows in the corner are a little more fitting to the Victorian architecture. It was so much fun to decorate because I find that as much as I like The Sims 4 and I enjoy their furniture, if you're going for a particular thing in mind, like a particular like time period or whatever you're trying to set it for, you'll quickly find yourself having to redundantly use stuff, or maybe use a curtain you wouldn't normally use if honestly you had to build it the way you wanted it to. So that was like great to have such a wide, weird variety to work from. That then enabled me to use so many different kinds of objects, but then it all worked. See, the palm trees in the corner are kind of representing that, like, kind of LA, Hollywood, California vibe, you know what I mean? But then it's in this, like, weird 70s, like, refurbished Victorian house. I cannot, if you watch anything for this movie, it's for that house, and with Anna Brill decorated it. I mean, the woman is crazy because, honest to gosh, like, I think what really makes the movie is because every single scene is shot with such detail and such purpose, and each object was picked out, you're never taken out of the movie for the way it looks so idyllic. If you can see on top of that fireplace some weird little objects you might not recognize from Sims 4, that's some of that witchy art deco coming out. So definitely download the pack. It's free. You just pop it into your mods folder. Not a big deal. The other thing I did add, and I ended up taking out, but I will add again, is that pentagram rug. That was also CC content. Hopefully I remember to put that in the description too. That one will come into purpose later, but I didn't feel ultimately I really like symmetry in my build, and I didn't feel like it mixed with the symmetry when I added the living room in. So I took it out temporarily, and I'm going to put it back in when I need to for that like moment in the LP. As you can see, that cauldron put over there in the corner is the one I was talking about from the mod. So oh God, I'm so excited to use that. I really hope it works the way it said it was going to work. And this is me building her kind of like really awesome little like witchy area. I put the kids' experimental thing because I haven't actually messed with that a lot, so that's going to be fun to play with. But that, I'm pretty sure, can make some cool like potions and stuff like that. So that will be really fun to play with and hopefully use again in the LP. Gosh, this was such a fun build to do. I love even, see that table we got from, I think it was, I'm going to say the holiday wrong, I apologize. Dos Dias de Marque? Oh, I apologize for butchering that so much. I'm probably totally saying it wrong, but that table, I haven't gotten a chance to really appreciate it or use it as much as I would like to. And so I was like, oh, perfect. It kind of mimics, you know, how a lot of like witchy-centric or Wicca people like to have beautiful, you know, displays over their tables. So that worked out perfectly. As you can see, this is where the witchy deco set really comes into play, and I can't hide, you know, you gotta go download. Now, this is where I really struggled in the living room. Surprisingly, bedroom not too hard to decorate, kitchen not too difficult to decorate, bathroom, I'm so again thankful for the vampire mod because or vampire pack, because then I was able to really capture the older feel of the building. But the living room was really difficult because on one hand, like a kind of 70s beat up pink couch works, but then like this kind of refined, older time, Victorian type couch, that works. That 70s kind of pillowcasey vibe from the Hangout stuff pack worked. I really struggled to find the couch. And the couch is so important when you're doing what you need to do in the living room, because that really defines the rest of the way the place feels. And in the end, I ended up getting to use one couch from each like thing, you know, compromise. Because again, in this very weird, idealized looking set, it would need a little bit of everything to really give it that ultimate feel. And that's another thing I really liked about her apartment. Her apartment was supposed to feel like her dream apartment, but then at the same time, it's supposed to feel like she's, you know, she's just renting. So therefore, nothing perfectly matches. It is a mix of things you've clearly found at yard sales and stuff like that. I don't know what yard sales she's going to, because I would go to those yard sales. So that, again, gave me a lot of leeway in having fun with how I wanted the place to look. Now, I'm so sorry, but I didn't capture on, like, towards the end of the build. Right now, I'm just kind of going through all the debugged objects. I'm going through all the Art Deco stuff, and I'm making sure that the place feels lived in with adding extra objects. But I didn't record in the very, very end. When I went to go post this house, I wasn't completely happy with how it looked, because a lot of the details that make up the beautiful house in the movie just weren't available in the Sims 4 decorating options. So I had to just kind of, you know, have some leeway with it and add a couple of things to really make it, you know, feel worth downloading is what I wanted to say. I know I sound like I'm beating myself up. I really hate when houses have that kind of plain, untexturized look, and because it doesn't have any shingles to it or whatever, I had to add some brick to one of the towers. I added some, you know, vines down there. So I didn't record that, but you will see them in the end shots. Now, I forgot to mention there's one more thing I want to add when I play with this LP that I'm excited with, is I'm pretty sure I saw on X Mira's one of her latest LPs, but there is a custom painting mod where basically when your person paints, they can paint, you know, custom paintings you choose, or I bet you it comes with custom paintings, and if you want, you can put your own custom paintings in. And I would really like to put some of, because she's actually an artist, and she paints these, again, because Anna Brill is like a crazy awesome psycho. Anna Brill painted her own paintings that she put in the movie that the character paints, and they look almost like a mix of stained glass windows, and they're like pagan-y, and it's just so cool. I gotta be honest with you, I would hang a lot of those paintings up in my house, whether you practice witchcraft or not. Like, they're just so beautiful and cool looking, and I would really love if I could have her actually painting those things. So I'm going to try to look into that, try to look into some cool, you know, artwork that I could have her, you know, pop in, and we'll kind of see from there how that works out. But for now, I mean, if she only paints, that's fine with me. You know what I mean? It's just going to be like 2 seconds, you're going to see it. But I'm someone who likes to really immerse myself in my gameplay, and I got to tell you this. I highly, highly, highly recommend doing this. It's like you don't want to make the extra effort to do that because you just want to get into playing the game. I don't know if this is just me, but sometimes you hit a certain point in playing your gameplay where you're like, I'm tired of building, I'm tired of creating, I just want to play the game. But because right now we're really limited in The Sims 4 via gameplay options and like different things to do, and I don't care what your politics are about Sims 4, and you go, they're trying really hard, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. The reality is we don't have a lot of gameplay options, and while we're waiting for that, while we're waiting forever for that, it really, really, really helps to make sure your decorating skills or those little details I'm talking about really end up getting used, because you'll end up finding that the same things you did in another gameplay or build have more substance to it and you enjoy it a lot more. So that if I could give any suggestion to make your Sims 4 gameplay more fun, is do the little details. Don't skip over it. Now, this is me adding this in, this little side, I think this is from City Living, those little side arch things. It's me trying to replicate the vibe that I was talking about before in the whole witchy thing, where, you know what I mean, where it's like the arched way, it's got all this webbing, it's super cool. And this is me adding in a lot of extra little details, you know, the candelabra, and I wanted her kitchen to obviously be functioning with like a dishwasher and a little trash can because it's very small. You know, we have to work with what we gotta work with. But, ooh, the screenshots are coming up! Okay, get excited, guys. It looks so cool. Yes, see? I added a little bit of the foliage and the bricks on the side dome. I think it turned out great. Please download this. Oh, I also added, do you see the roofs on the side that I added extended? That was new. This is the lobby, see? Going up to her apartment. This is where she's painting. Oh, guys, I could not be more proud of this build. Seriously, just download it for fun. Make a sim live here. They can be cool. Maybe they practice witchcraft. I don't know. But look out for my Love Witch LP, and have a great day, because look forward to other speed builds, by the way. I'm going to do more speed builds for this series, so look forward to that as well. And have a great day. Bye, guys!